Johnny, I'm in my office chapel, as you can see, and you're at home, which takes me back to those early days of the pandemic when it felt like it was you and I against the technical world, as it were. What a year 2020 turned out to be, and what a year 2021 has begun as. Can I begin by just saying a huge thank you to you and to your team for the way you have supported the ministry of St. John's Egham.
Thank you, Esther. I would like to say a massive thank you to the team too. It's been a big change this year, and the team has adapted well to the new challenges. The existing team have had to learn new ways of operating, and we've had to start a new part of the team to deal with the extra work that we now do. I'm very proud of them all. They've all taken it in their stride. The names you should be seeing now on screen are the members of this team serving the church in this ministry. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Paul Bridgman and Val Pearce-Irwin, who stepped up early on to help me with content preparation week in and week out. I would have been lost without them.
Can you give us a brief account of how the AV team has adapted in order to establish St. John's Online?
Well, the most obvious change has been the forming of a new team to control the different cameras and word combinations that you see on screen. This required some new equipment, some new volunteers, and some rapid training. This has gone very well, and I think the proof of that is in what we see week in, week out. I'm very impressed that the team has picked this up so quickly and run with it. However, all the teams have had to adapt to the way we work. Mixing the sound is quite different for online use, and there are various challenges balancing the sound in church and online simultaneously. The team have done really well with this. The projection team, who have up till now controlled what goes on the screen, have also had to change what they do. All of the team have had some form of training or retraining, but they've all done really, really well with this. I think the big thing that this year, that has come from this year, that would sum it all up for all of us, and in fact all churches, is that we've all learnt a lot.
What have been some of the joys? What have been some of the pressure points? I know for me, particularly in those early months, one of the joys was working so closely with you. But what have been some of the joys, some of the pressure points for you and for you as a team?
To start with, it was quite a new adventure, and I too enjoyed working closely with you, Esther. But there was a lot to do, and it took a lot of time. And that time was taken away from family mostly, so that was hard. Since going back to church, the work has been shared amongst the team, which has helped a lot. I enjoyed learning about the new equipment and learning the new skills needed, and I think the rest of the team has too. I often think that the AV team offers a unique opportunity to experience tech kit that you don't get in many places, so it's been great to expand that further, hopefully for new volunteers too. It's been great to get some new members of the team too, particularly in forming the new video mixing team. And it's been great to see the team rise to challenges and that we've done that together. There still feels like a lot of pressure that things need to work each week. If it doesn't, no one gets to take part in church that week. But for the most part, things seem to be going well, and it doesn't seem to be too much of an issue.
What do you need for this ministry to flourish even more? How can we resource you? How can we resource you now? But how can we also resource you going forward with a future where, as an AV team, you need to support, I assume, 3 services again?
Well, I think it's the same as most teams. We need people. We have lost 1 or 2 members of the team this year for various reasons. And so although at the moment we can manage 1 service a week, when we branch out to our usual number of services, we're going to really struggle. We need more people on all of the teams. We obviously will provide training, although that is a touch difficult at the moment with COVID restrictions, but there are things we can do right now. And we'll obviously ramp up the training as soon as COVID restrictions allow us to. But we probably need to double the size as a team so that we can manage the rest of the other services. Sound team members are a particularly critical thing at the moment, especially sound team members that can mix a band. Most of the reason for this is that the training takes longer, so we really need to get people on board soon. I don't like to ask people to do the role that they're doing without feeling really confident, but it can take sometimes quite a long time to feel confident on sound. But if you're willing to learn, I think we can teach you. There's now so many different roles on the tech team that there's probably something that someone can do, whatever skills you've got.
And how can we pray? How can we pray for you personally as you lead this team? And how can we pray for the AV team?
I think for me personally, time and stress management is the biggest issue. I've got a lot better with it over the last few months, not least because I have a wonderful new admin assistant in Alistair Marshall, who's helped me so much. But it's important to me as I don't like it when my family take a back seat if I'm busy or stressed with church work. There were times early on when we just got back into church and I was setting things up in the summer that my children would often be frustrated and say, "Daddy's got to go to church again," instead of being with them, which was hard. So praying that I manage that better would be really good. As a team, I think staying safe is key. We have to be at church to help provide the service for everybody. But that's not without its risks at the moment. I also think it would be great to have prayer for energy to keep going and to keep learning the new things we have to do. And of course, that God will touch people's heart in the congregation so that more people join our team. Thank you.